the Tattooed Stitcher, back for another weekly cross-stitching update. I hope all of you have had a great week. I have done a good amount of stitching. I'm very happy to report. So I'm just going to dive right in. I do have a few finishes, a few partial fully finishes, and some WIPs to show. So I did finish, where's the chart for these? The charts are hidden back here behind my ironing board. I did finish Spring Delivery from With Thy Needle and Thread, and it's in pillow-ish form. I managed to get a couple pillows put together, and then when it came to the stuffing part, I said not today, and haven't revisited yet. So Spring Delivery is finished, and I ended up using this cute little tulip. I did the direction wrong on this pillow. I should have done the tulips the other way, but you know, it gets kind of chaotic when you're doing pillow stuffing day around here. And then I also finished Catherine's little sampler from By the Heart Needle Art. I stitched this very quickly. Last time you saw it, I had this, like, all that done. So I just had to finish it up. It's really cute. I was going to put it in a frame, but it didn't look quite right in a 5x7, and a 4x6, I didn't have one, and I didn't feel like waiting for one. So I thought it would be cute as a pillow because it's very springy to put out with all the rest of my spring pillows. I backed it in this really pretty corally flower to kind of bring in the coral colors here. So eventually those will get stuffed. Oops. Sorry. I also put together, oh, there's like threads everywhere. Don't mind it. It's still a mess. What is this called? 1824 House from Chessie and Me. I backed it in this blue. And I'm going to finish it how they finished it in the chart with the green chenille on the sides. So a couple pillows in the works. I also started with the framing of Anne Morrison. I glued the Warm and Natural onto the other piece of mat board, and I was like, I'm gonna leave this to dry and then I'll come back for it. Same situation with the pillows, didn't come back to completely finish it. It'll get done someday, at some point. So that goes into WIPs now. Most of my stitching time this week has been dedicated to Maria, the Maria Sal, because we're now, what, March 15th or something like that? We're halfway through the month, and I'm not done with the section, which is okay, but I like to get it done sooner rather than leaving it till the end of the month. That just stresses me out. So I've been working on it, and for some reason, she just won't die this month. I've stitched this exact section, but for some reason, this second time stitching it through is killing me. I'm dying a slow death stitching it. So here's where it is so far. I'm not kidding. I worked on this all day yesterday, and I did this flower and this flower, these two leaves and these two leaves, this motif and these two little things, and this section of the tree. All day. That took me all day. Like, that's insane. That should not take me that long, but it sure did. But she's really pretty. I'm stitching this on the called for 46 count lichen from Tabby Cat. And I do love the colors, but it's been a lot of yellow. Yellow is not my favorite color. And these aren't like bright sunny yellows. These are like dingy, kind of tarnished yellows. Oh, stop calling me people. So it's just not my favorite colors to be stitching with. They're very muted. I get really excited when we get to use like this big dark red or this mauve-y kind of color. I like the blue a lot too, but we just don't get to use them that often. I'm very excited for the big red house in the center. That will be fun. So all I have left is to finish this tree. This exact thing right here is right here. And once that's done, I think I've got 2 little dots to fill in up here, and then I'll be finished. So I'm hoping I might take this week off of Maria, get some distance from her for a minute, and then come back and finish that tree up before the end of the month. So there is Maria. Okay. Another WIP that I put like just a teeny, it's almost not worth showing amount of work in. I'll get the chart out so you can see. Is Dwelling Place. And I worked, oh, this board is going to fly off of my lap. I worked in this motif right here. I picked it up and I was like, oh, I'll just finish that motif before putting it away. I started working on it. I got 1 flower done and started a little bit of another. And I was like, you know, I'm not feeling this right now. So put it away. But we got 1 flower done. It's really pretty. It's coming along slowly, slowly, as Luda would say. Slowly, slowly. I'm just going to throw everything on the table today. Okay. This WIP I've been working on for the last day. Yeah. And that is A Shepherd's Song from Plum Street Samplers. And this is what she looks like. I worked in the border. So from about here on, all these flowers needed filled in. Maybe it was from this 3rd flower, about here. The bones of this border were done and the outlines of the flowers were done, but they all needed filled in, and then the little doodaddies done, and the leaves, all these leaves. So then I did that, and then I did this corner motif with this little bird, and then I started working my way down the side for the flowers and the leaves. And then I did these 2 like quilt squares. I was hoping to have the border just totally finished before putting it down again. And I don't know if I'm going to put it down. I might leave it out. I'm not sure. Because the border goes pretty quickly. It doesn't, like, it's busy, but I feel like the rhythm of it is really nice. Like, it's not a slog to get through it. And I love the blues. This is being stitched. Oh, I forgot to say what Dwelling Place is being stitched on. Dwelling Place is being stitched on 40 count dirty teacup. And Shepherd's Song is being stitched on 40 count Tekla from Tropical Stitches with the Vicki Clayton silk conversion. Christy Crosshatch Quilts added a giant bee skep here from another chart. I know she said what the other chart was. Summer at Hollyberry Farm. She used the double bee skep from that chart and put it here. Obsessed. There's a shepherdess. What's on the other side here? There's a shepherdess and another sheep on this side. And it's tempting to put the bee skep on that side instead. So I might steal that idea for the other side of this chart because it was so pretty. It worked perfect in there. Okay. And then I didn't do a ton of work on this chart, but I did a little bit. Get on there. This is Eliza Townsend from Cross Stitch Antiques. This chart is so difficult to stitch from. It's the only Cross Stitch Antiques chart I've ever stitched on, so I don't know if that's just the way they chart. But it is really, really hard to stitch from. So it's just like not one I reach for. I don't know, it's charted hard. So I was like, well, I could do more of the house, but the house is my favorite part. So I feel like if I leave the house more to the end, I'll be more motivated to get to that. So I was like, okay, well, there are huge potted plants up here. So I filled in some little doodads. I stitched this flower and I started this big pot here. And I had the arm done of the pot on this side and I realized I was a stitch off. So I had to frog it, and that's when I was like, and you're done. You're done. So not a ton on this one. I love everything about it. I wish I wanted to work on it more. There's just so many other things that I want to get to. I don't have enough time or hands. And then last week I was so scattered with my WIPS that I completely missed a WIP. Oh, and I forgot my iPad. That's fun. I tried to be more prepared this video, and apparently it didn't happen. A WIP I completely forgot to show, and I only own the PDF of, is a Quaker Dwelling from Kathy Barrick. I did stitch on this a couple of weeks ago. I did a ton of work in the roof right here. It doesn't look like it, but there are like a dozen colors, it feels like, in that roof. Every row of stitches is a different color. It takes some time. So I was like, okay, I made it to the edge of the roof. Let's connect the side of the house here. I knew I was off down here. I adjusted for it. I accidentally made the door too wide. So I adjusted for the offness. I solved it here in the center. So all should line up well down here. But I forgot the roof is normal. The roof is as it's supposed to be. So when I was stitching the line up towards the roof, I realized it's off. So I had to frog, and that's when I said, you're done. If I have to frog, I will frog you. And then I will toss you. So that's what happened here. And then I had a bad memory with it, so I must not have just subconsciously wanted to show it. Okay, I think that's all my WIPs. Yay! Okay, WIPs, we did it. I do have a little bit of haul. I have my Classic Colorworks Floss Fix for the month of March. We're still in the S's. So we got Sticks and Twigs, Storm Lake Sunrise, which is annoying because I just ordered this color for the one of the new Brenda Gervais market charts that's on its way to me. It should be delivered today, actually. The one with the fat bunny with the basket on his back. I think it's called Jelly. I don't know what it's called. I want to say Jelly Bean something, but I don't think that's it. Anyways, so I guess I have another one of those. Stormy Night, which is funny. It's the color I used in the 1824 house from Chessie and me. Straw Hat, Strawberry Parfait, and Sugar and Spice. Look how fun that color is. I love that. So I got those. And then I also got my Color in Cotton Fabric Club of the Month. I am in the Soft Neutrals. And the color we got this month is called Wood Smoke. Ooh, isn't that so pretty? I love that. So my Color in Cottons, I get 40 count, but I use them like 46 counts because their holes shrink a good amount. So love that one. And then I have said what feels like 482 times on my videos, my favorite hoops are Hardwick Manor hoops. I also really love the Nerge wooden hoops. But my oval hoops that I use every single day have been out of stock for like 6 months or more. So they finally came in stock and I took advantage and got a spare to my large oval. I only have one, and you know, I get paranoid that I'll break it because I use it every day. So I wanted to have a backup. So now I have a backup of my large oval, and I also have a backup of my small oval. That one is coming in the mail. So now I have a backup of my 2 favorite hoops, which is just for peace of mind. And then I got a little bit of Happy Meal. Guys, we go to McDonald's too much apparently. Happy Mayo from my friend Sherry, who is Share Bear Stitches. She so sweetly did me a huge favor for Molly Stone, which is a chart that I got in the red box from Hands Across the Sea. There are 2 colors on here that are UK colors only. So you have to order them from the UK or sub. And those colors are 706. These are 103. 706 and can't ever remember. 233. Yes. So she was making a trip to her LNS and said, I'll pull the DMC and match those with another 103. And the colors they came up with to sub for to sub for 103,706 is 723. Look how close. It's perfect. So that's my sub for 706 is 723. And then the sub they pulled for 233, which the DMC is 3787, is SWA 103 in number 705. This one is a touch more green, but when you stitch with it, I think it will be fine. So those are my subs. I'm very, very grateful that she did that for me. And then she threw in this little chart kit she got from the Acorns and Threads retreat this year. This is Maximum Cross Stitch Acorn Manor. It's really cute, and it's a full kit. I think this fabric is probably 36. And it even came with a frame. This whole kit came like ready to go. Thank you, Sherry. Okay. Plants. Where are we? We're in the middle of March. I would really like to start Molly Stone. I'm still trying to decide on a fabric for her, though. And I have a couple pieces of fabric coming to me. I shopped with a shop. Wow, Tiffany, I know she doesn't watch YouTube, so she won't even see this, but I don't know what your shop name is. She hosts Stitch Michigan every year. Her name's Tiffany. She's fabulous, and I shopped with her for some fabrics while they were at market. And those are coming to me, and I think one of them might actually be perfect for Molly. So I will probably wait until I get those to make a final decision. And then I do want to finish up that section on Maria. That would be really great to get that done. And then otherwise, I'll probably start a market chart today. Sorry. Hangnail. That bunny. I want to start that big fat bunny from Brenda. And I have all the threads for that, I'm pretty sure. But I'll also be doing Market Mania. That is like a event that is hosted by Jem. Her channel is Stitch and Jem, which, by the way, she was just on Wheel of Fortune. Go watch her episode. It was so great. I couldn't believe it. I was telling my husband, I was like, I know her. She's a stitcher. So I'm going to be doing Market Mania with Jem, and it's like kind of, you start however many market charts you want, start however little you want, you know. So I'll definitely start a couple with her, and then so I'll be working on kitting those up the next few weeks. And otherwise, I don't have plans. I'm kind of just like in limbo. I feel like I want my market stuff, and I don't want to stitch on anything I have, which is not good. But that's where I'm at. So we'll see what I end up stitching on. I don't really know. Also, going forward, I am going to go to bi-weekly videos for a little while. I can't keep up with life right now. I feel like a chicken with my head cut off. Like, I'm just running around trying to keep up with kids, and their social lives are more packed than mine is, for certain. And my husband's working out of town a lot right now. They have a big project for a mine that's a couple hours away from us right now. And once you're at the mine, you have to stay at the mine. So, well, you have to stay at the mine, but you have to stay in the area because the things they're working on, it's like they have to shut down this section and then work on it until it's done because it cannot stay shut off for a very long time. So they're up there just for an indeterminate amount of time. The first time they went up, he was up for 4 days. The second time they went up, they were up for like 3.5 days. So it's just like, I'm kind of just, you know, figuring it out as we go. So I'm doing a lot of single parenting right now. And it's just a lot. I'm barely stitching most days just because my brain is stressed out. And then we're finally done with dance competition season. We had our last competition on Saturday. The girls got first place again in their division and also grand champions. So they got this like humongous trophy, and they've never gotten the trophy before. They have never gotten first place until this last year, and they got first place at both competitions. So we did lots of celebrating. It was very awesome. They worked so hard. So we're all very proud of them. But now competition is over, so we can all breathe. We did it. We survived. And now it's just prepping for recital, which is easy. Recital week is not easy, but prepping for recital, easy peasy. So that is one less thing on my plate. And also we've made the decision to stop private speech therapy for my son. He is going to be 12 this year, and he's going to go into 6th grade. And we have been doing speech therapy privately since he was 3. So it was twice a week for most of the time. We went down to once a week about 1.5 years ago. Beginning of last summer, we went down to once a week. And now it's just kind of like we're at that point where he doesn't really need it anymore. And it's more of a battle to get him to go. We love our speech therapist. That's never been the issue. He's just, we're all burnt out. We're very burnt out. We've been doing this for so long, and he's always been such a good sport about it, but he wants to do other things now, and that's great. I really want to get him into some other activities with some of his friends. So we have our last speech therapy appointment this week, and then he'll be done. And it's so weird. It's so weird. I can't get over it. Makes me a bit emotional. But so I've been researching what kind of activity he would even be interested in. He does not like contact sports. He's not a real team sports guy either. He's like, I don't know. He's just not, the group sports kind of a guy. And that's okay. There are lots of other things he could do. He loves to swim. So we'll do a lot of swimming this summer. But I also thought about letting him try golf. My parents are big golfers. I never got into golf, but I think if I would have, I would have liked it. There's no contact, obviously, and it's, you're more of an individual player. And our high school offers JV and varsity golf teams, and they do really well for our area. So I thought maybe this summer, if it wasn't too expensive, he could try golf lessons. And he seems intrigued by the idea. Someone also told me that autistic kids like karate or like taekwondo. So if you have an autistic child, have you ever put them in taekwondo or karate? I am so curious. So I want him to do something that is not a screen, not involved with a screen, because that's all he cares about right now is the screen. So yeah, we're gonna try golf this summer, I think, or unless someone else has a suggestion. I'm all ears. I've just been kind of winging it here. He's never had the opportunity to do, well, he has. That's a lie. He's done soccer. He didn't like it. He did gymnastics. He didn't like it. There's a kids yoga class actually at my studio. I thought about putting him and my daughter in it, see if they would like it. Just letting him go to a class. He used to do little yoga videos on YouTube, which is funny. So we'll see. He'll start 6th grade, and there is a really big robotics club through the middle school here, and he seems very excited to do robotics club. But that won't start till fall, obviously. They do coding in elementary school. He's been doing coding. I think that's crazy. He loves it. He loves doing coding. He took a coding class a couple summers ago through the school, and he really liked it. But he keeps telling me about all these little things he creates these little guys to do. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know if I could even do coding. So he enjoys that. So he probably would like the robotics thing. I tried to get him into band, but he was adamantly no to band. He doesn't like how loud the room is. So understandable, buddy. But yeah, sorry, that was kind of segued into life a bit. We went to kindergarten roundup last week with my 4-year-old. She will be starting kindergarten this fall. It's weird. I can't believe it. I'm kind of excited about it, but also sad. I don't know. It's weird. I'll have all 3 kids in not elementary, because I have a middle schooler next year. I'll have all 3 kids in school. It's really strange, but she's very excited to go to school with the big kids, we call them. The kids, we call my other 2 kids the kids. So we did that, and what else did we do? I had competition. I think that's all we did, dance things. But yeah, I forgot my iPad, but I think I can remember some of the shows that I wanted to mention. I watched the limited series on Prime called Lazarus. Did I mention? I hope I didn't mention this one last week. It has Sam Claflin as the star in it, and it's a Harlan Coben director, creator. I'm not sure. That meant something, I guess, because they were really heavily saying Harlan Coben's Lazarus. It's like a psychological thriller. I think it was only 7 episodes. I loved it. It took like an episode for me to get into it. But once I was into it, like I could not stop. I think I watched most of the episodes in a day. It was so good. I loved it. And then it had me looking for more Harlan Coben's. And I found a bunch on Netflix, actually. I started one called Missing You. The lead in that show, I don't know her name, but she is one of the characters in Slow Horses, which is an Apple TV series that I love. And I like her character in Slow Horses. And so far, Missing You has been great. I'll probably finish that later today. Another kind of psychological thriller type deal. Not as psychological, I guess, because there hasn't been, ghosts or anything. But it's like I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, it's like a detective but finding, like, investigating a thing that's starting to, like, link back to her kind of a deal is so good. And there are several on Netflix that I'll probably make my way through because I'm really enjoying them, of this director's. And then we watched Nuremberg, which is a new movie on Netflix about the German officers that were on the first international trial for war crimes after World War II. Russell Crowe played, I can't remember his name, the second in command to Hitler. And then, what is his name? He was in Mr. Robot or whatever, and he played in the movie about Queen. I can't remember his name, totally blanking on it. But he plays the psychiatrist that works with these German officer prisoners. It was kind of a long movie. It was like 2.5 hours, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. I don't know how Rami Malek, there it is. I don't know how accurate it is, but I thought it was really good. It also had the guy that was playing one of the prosecuting attorneys. He was in Death by Lightning. He played President Andrew Garfield, and I liked him in that show, and he did a great job in this movie too. So that was a good movie we watched. I also watched the latest seasons of All Creatures Great and Small. Oh, guys, I love that show so much. I teared up every episode. This show always does it to me. Every single episode. It's like, it's just so pure and happy and joyful. I just love it. I love it so much. So I watched that, blew through it. Also, the new season of Virgin River just came out, and I love to hate that show. It's like I watch it, but I'm not like loving it, but I have to keep watching it. What is that? It's like potato chips. Oh, I forgot my Kindle to show my book I've been reading. So I've been watching that, but I'd rather watch something else. Also, I binged the entire latest season of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives because they released, I think they've released, I don't know how many episodes, because I think there's still more episodes to come. Like, I don't know if all the episodes have been released, but I could be wrong. But for like the last 2 days straight, I watched Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. This season has been so much better than the last season. They really learned from the last season, I think. The last season was awful because it was like pure Macy Michaela. My least favorite people in that show. Macy Michaela. A whole freaking season. I couldn't stand it. This season, it was much more equally distributed time with all the girls. And I thought it was much better. So much drama. I just can't even imagine living with so much drama in my life on the daily. It's crazy. But apparently Taylor Frankie Paul is going to be the next Bachelorette. And I'm like, that sounds like the last thing for that girl to be doing. She needs just therapy, period. Not the Bachelorette, not 30 dudes to date. She needs to go to one dude therapist. She needs something. But I love that. So enough of that. Oh, I did finish. So the book series I've been reading, The Boys of Tommen by Chloe Walsh. I finished Redeeming 6, which is the 4th book. I also finished Taming 7, which is the 5th book, and it's the 3rd couple. Each couple has 2 books. The first 2 is one couple, second 2 is one couple, and then I read the 5th one, which is one couple, another couple. They don't have a second book yet. It goes straight into Releasing 10, which is about another couple. So they like kind of split it. And Taming 7 was such a heavy book. It was so heavy. It was so traumatic. And I can read some pretty, heavy things. But my gosh. After this one finished, I was just like, it was so hard to even contemplate picking up the next book because I've heard it's even worse. So I was like days until I could pick up releasing 10. And right away, the first 4 or 5 chapters of this book made me sick. Made me literally sick. Why do we read things that make you sick and make you horrified and sad? And I don't know. So it's taking me a lot longer to get through this book. I can't read it every night right now. It's a lot. I have to take breaks. So that's what I'm reading right now. After I eventually finish it, there's no release date for the next book. And I don't know if it's going to be the second one of the 7 couple or the second one of the 10 couple. I don't know. But I'm going to need to read something lighthearted after this. I went from The Correspondent, which was so sad, to all these Boys of Tommen books, which have been so sad. I need some joy. Speaking of joy, Sarah J. Maas finally gave us release dates for the next ACOTAR book. If you have not read ACOTAR, it's A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's a book series by Sarah J. Maas, and it's been out forever, and it's been like 5 years since the last one came out, and she gave us release dates for 2 books. So the next one's coming out in October of this year, I think, and then the next one's coming out in January of next year. There's no covers released on them yet, but I immediately pre-ordered them to my Kindle because I need them like the second they're available. So that's very exciting. Yeah, I think that's all I have to talk about. Like I said, I'm going to start doing every 2-week videos. So you will not see me next week, especially next week. I've got all the kids are home next week for spring break, and my husband will be gone working out of town. So I'll just be trying to survive the next week. Pray for me. But I hope you all get all the stitching time you want in the next couple of weeks, and I will see you then. Bye.